Hi everyone and welcome to today's Friday Fast 4. Today I'll be giving you 4 tips on communicating with the media. This is really important for public relations professionals. We have a lot to do with print and television and radio and online media, people in those industries, and they really help us get our stories out and get them reach. So my first tip is to research needs, and that's the needs of the media that you're pitching to. So for instance, if I'm pitching to a community newspaper, I want to know what kind of stories they're interested in, when their publication dates are, and so on. I'm sure there's nothing worse for people in the media receiving a media release that has nothing to do with their publication's interests, so keep that in mind. The second tip is to build relationships. This particularly applies locally in terms of making that face-to-face and personal connection. For instance, at HMC it's really important to us to every now and then make contact with local journalists or editors and so on and say, hey, let's meet up for a coffee. No, you have a busy schedule, but how can we meet your needs? Are there any kind of stories that you're looking out for? Yeah, so especially locally, try and make those connections every now and then. My third tip is to consider format, and that's the format of how you send a story to different media. Often with print media, it's important to send the story in a way that the editor or whoever on the receiving end can put it straight to print. So you've got your headline and the date and all the information, so it doesn't need much editing at all, and that just makes it easy at the other end. For a television pitch, for instance, you want to make your pitch nice and punchy so that somebody who's in such a busy industry can quickly read and see whether or not it's a story that they're interested in. So consider format. And then finally, it's about sharing their pieces. So this has to do with, I guess, showing that you're not only interested in contacting the media when you need something. So if you find a piece really interesting, a news item really interesting, share it on your social media, engage with it, respond to them, let them know that you liked their stories, so that it's a really mutually beneficial relationship and you're communicating with them a little outside of just what you need. So those are my 4 tips for communicating with the media, and we'll see you next week.